Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Hunter Loves Voiceplay podcast, a series of Halloween videos that I'm going to be sending out in the whole month of October. I'm going to try. I don't know for sure, but we'll see. Think this is episode 19, 18. I can't keep track anymore, so just bear with me. This one is another Halloween episode out of Voiceplay, and it is one of my personal favorites, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, all of their Halloween stuff is always my favorite. But going on with Nightmare Before Christmas here, they managed to do another one called Kidnap the Santa Claus. So they basically have done most of the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, the majority of it. And always so happy with it. So again, another Lane arrangement. Oh my god. So usually most with Lane's arrangements, it's always heavy makeup and crazy costuming. So in this one, we have Lane as Dr. Finkelstein. He just looks ridiculous. Check out the video for yourself, and if you're not laughing looking at him, oh my god. We have Ellie as Locke, Rachel Potter as Shock, and Jay as Beryl, and Jeff as Mr. Hyde. Dr. Hyde? Mr. Hyde? I forget. But anyway. So this one is super complex, arrangement-wise, because not only are they just singing like the actual tune to like the actual song, but there is just, again, there's so many different elements when they go a cappella with this that just brings it to the limelight, and you're like, oh my god, you're like, okay, you can't keep track of all of it, honestly. So they just, again, character acting is always a plus. Just to know, let me talk about the set for a minute here, because Lane, as crazy as the man is, he managed to get an actual bathtub off of Facebook that he had paid money for, or he possibly borrowed, he possibly rented, whatever. And it is like a legit bathtub out of Nightmare Before Christmas. It had the two legs on it, and maybe like the crank handle. I didn't really pay attention to that, but oh my god. They struggled so hard to get that out of the back of a van, but anyway, they did it, but it was a pain in Jeff's pancreas, if you will. The guy always has bodily function issues. Bodily fluids! Anyway. Carly, if you're listening to this one, you'll get that reference. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here. So yeah, they get the bathtub, and of course, again, very heavy makeup. Jeff is completely, he's not white this time. He's not pasty, Oogie Boogie Man white. He's green this time, because he's Mr. Hyde. He's Dr. Hyde. So I just think that his costume was probably very heavy, and it just looks very warm, very heavy, and I'm thinking, oh god, he's probably just sweating buckets in that costume. So, you gotta crank up the AC a fair bit. But, yeah, so with this one, it's always fun, because, yeah, they have a lot of fun with these videos, and, just the elements in that one was always, you can't keep track of all of it. I certainly can't. And vocally, Ellie kind of, because it's more so, it's like Ellie, Rachel, and Jay are kind of the ones that lead this one on. Not that everybody doesn't have their own separate part, so to speak, but, it's kind of more because, like, Rachel, who is the collaborator, they kind of put her at the forefront of the whole thing. And, like, because she's shocked. So she's trying to tell everybody that it's like, well, hey, what are we going to do to kidnap Santa Claus? How are we going to do it? And, yeah, so it's like, well, wait, I got a better plan to catch this big red lobster man. Let's pop him in a boiling pot, and when he's done, we'll burr him up. I cannot believe that there is the mantis that they have that's in the cage, that they send to Oogie Boogie, even in the movie, that prop is just absolutely amazing. That prop went for $500 at a charity auction. Believe it or not. A freaking mantis in a cage. Like, people pay big money for crazy crap like that. It's just that, like, I mean, I wouldn't say crazy crap. I would just say, like, it just amazes me that people would pay money for something like that. I mean, that much though. My God. I probably certainly wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm too cheap, but I don't know. I'm not good when it comes to auctions. So anyway, but I'm always just happy that people are spending money, especially for that cause, because it goes to Hurricane Ian relief. So it's good. Red Cross, perfect. Good thing. But yes. So there's that prop there. And that's another thing that I haven't mentioned in these videos when I've been doing this episode podcast. It's just the extra props. So like in this one, you got, you have the mantis that, they send to Oogie Boogie. In Oogie Boogie's song, they had the dice. And This Is Halloween, they had a whole crap load of pumpkins. And, like they were showing off props of like everybody's transformation and like, fingers like snakes and spiders in Jeff's hair type of thing. Like, it's just, they do their research, and I love it. It makes it so much better for when the concept actually comes to be, that you know that you're getting something special. Because it's just all the extra prop work. And even in the set, it's like they had the head of Oogie Boogie's lair, and, like, in the background. And I'm just like, oh my God. And, like, even in Oogie Boogie's song, you had kind of the spiky layout of his lair, that it's like, nope, you're not going to be escaping this. No way. And those details are just always, I love their attention to detail. I absolutely love it. And Rachel was pregnant in this video, but they made her look so good. Like, you couldn't even tell. Like, when I tell people that, it's like, yeah, she was pregnant. Like, she was getting ready. Well, I don't think she was ready to pop in this one, but she was getting pretty darn close. So it was probably at the point where she was still able to fly on a plane from Tennessee. I think she was in Nashville. And then all the way back to, down to Florida to record with them. And, just to see her, it's like, oh, wow. Like, she's getting close. But yeah, she just, she did an amazing job. And I think one part that sticks out for me the most, well, it threw me off because Jeff, again, him and his darn subharmonics, and Lane constantly wanting him to always sing lower as far as Jeff is concerned. There was a moment in there where Jeff hits a super high subharmonic, and a lot of people mistaken it for overtone. It's not an overtone. It's a super high subharmonic. And then, just when he hit that, I mean, it does have the element of, like, overtone, but, I think that was really good production on Lane's end, just to give it that little bit of a punch to it, and just that little bit of a, like, just an extra effect to it, just to give it a little bit more of a, hey, look. But no, he did an incredible job with that. And, I'm trying to think, cause like, I'm trying to think of the, arrangement here, but I did not realize that there was a specific moment, and one reactor had brought this to the forefront. I won't say which reactor this is, but, he brought it to the forefront that it was like, at a certain moment in the song, they're still singing, Kidnap the Santa Claus. Like, they're still singing the tune in the background. And it's just like, whoa, wait a second. It's like, I wasn't even paying attention to that. Because it was like, what part is it? May have to look it up in order for it to make sense. I don't think I have it on my phone either. So I can't really pull that up quickly on my phone. But, yeah, like, just all of the elements that have been put into this one is just always fun. And I just absolutely love it. And even Lane gets into a little bit of, I wouldn't say it's like inhale bass, but he does get into some of those more, oh, now I remember what part it was. It's like, we're his little henchmen and we take our job with pride. We do our best to please him and stay on his good side. So then if you break that down, you hear do 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 do. So it is completely the same tune to Kidnap the Santa Claus, except they're actually singing actual lyrics with the tune, which I find was a very good touch. And again, that's what kind of amazes me about Lane, is that he puts those musical elements into it, and it's like, yeah, because that reactor had brought it to the forefront, and I was like, wait, I'm like, what? I'm like, how did I not notice that before? But then again, repeated listening, and I think even with the guy who, does do music as a profession, announced to me, it's always interesting to see when people actually manage to strip it down and then be like, oh, hey, this element is in here. And, I'm just like, oh, wait, like, what? Like, and then it's like, oh my god, you're right. It's crazy. So, and then it gets interesting kind of right before the end of it, because it's like the background vocals are interesting because it's, like Rachel and Ellie, like they're still singing the background vocals, but it's like, because Jay, I think, has the lead vocal in that specific part, and he's singing it because he's like going like, kidnap the Santa Claus, beat him with a stick, and you hear Ellie and Rachel going, kidnap the Santa Claus, beat him with a stick for 90, and it's like, wait, what? Like, what? Like, give me a second here. My brain can only pay attention to one element at a time. Slow down. So, and then it's like, see what makes them tick. And then Jeff has his line right there. And when he says Mr. Oogie Boogie, he winks. And I absolutely love that. I don't know if that was all on concept or if that was improvised, but I'm like, yes. Because it's like, everybody knows that he played Oogie Boogie, in previous, and I was surprised that they didn't have him reprise that role, for Kidnap, but it makes sense because Oogie Boogie wasn't necessarily in that scene in the movie, because he's in his lair, and it's the plan of getting Santa Claus to Oogie Boogie, so then Oogie Boogie can do his, interrogation, I guess, we'll say. So, him playing Mr. Hyde was super fun. And oh my god, Jeff's bass line in this. If y'all ever get the chance to become a patron and listen to the karaoke track, dear Jesus. It gets low and it just, wow. Cause it's like, it gives me a whole, like, the first couple times I listened to it, again, didn't pay attention to some of those elements, but then once I picked up on it, and once my ears kind of became more familiar with it, I'm just like, oh my god. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, Jeff, no. I'm like, there's no way that you're hitting that right now. There's no way. And even with one of the lyrics is, upon there'll be a note to read, he just drops it drops it down. And it's like, I mean, because like, the thing about Jeff is that he has a good presence about his voice to harmonize with people. Like, he's a good match for almost anybody, like any female collaborator that they have. He just has like a good, what would I say? Like, kind of middle range. Like, it's not like in his high range, but it's not in his low range, but it's just like in the middle. And, it just always works out so well, because it's like Rachel saying, like, upon there'll be a note to read. And then Jeff is, like, in the background, hitting low, gritty, meaty. And it's like, it's like, okay. And, yeah, it's just always, it's an amazing track, and you guys should check it out for yourself. I'll post a link in the description, as always, so that you guys can check it out. What else can I say? Again, character acting is a must. They always do an amazing job with the character acting in these ones. It's just always so fun. I probably said that so many times already. But yes, Kidnap is I was surprised because they didn't, well, because I think maybe if I was a patron, I probably would have gotten, like early access to it. Or maybe I was at the time. I don't remember. But then it was like, I don't even know like what they're doing. Like, it's like, they don't know, I don't think. And then it's like, they gave us this one and I was like, I was like, yay, yay. I'm so happy. Oh, and then the ending of this. I'm going all over the place here. Sorry. I think the caffeine's wrecking my brain. But, the ending is super nice. Because, the end note is throw away the key. And, Ellie just goes for it. And it's like, lock him in a cage and then throw away the... And he just belts. He goes for it and then also goes up. And then it's like, throw away the key. Boom. And it's like, just done. They're all laughing and it's hilarious because if you pay attention to Lane, he almost falls off the thing that he's sitting on. And it's absolutely hilarious. I've watched that on repeat because I need to giggle at it because I think it was a thing, that I don't think was scripted. I think he just meant to kind of lean back a little bit and just laugh just so then you could get like kind of the head back laugh. And then he like lost his balance and almost fell off the thing. I mean, I would have laughed even harder if he had fallen off the thing. But anyway, I mean, again, go check it out for yourself. Go watch Lane be a creepy goof. And Jeff is kind of creepy too because the makeup, oh god, it's perfect. Rick does an amazing job. Rick Underwood. I might just have to do an episode on Rick because, damn, leading up to all of the other videos that they have been doing with Rick, he never fails to impress. He's an amazing makeup artist. So I think that about sums it up for Kidnap the Santa Claus. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. If I did, then I'm sorry. If not, we'll blame it on the lack of coffee. How about that? So thanks so much, you guys. Happy spooky season. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. It helps me out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next one. See you later.